Hello, everyone. This is KellyMBeard of KarmicTools.com, and tonight is our monthly community event, and our topic is Saturn in Pisces, 2023 to 2026. This is a big move and a precursor to other big moves. So, everyone relax into your space and open to receive that which is just for you this night. And we're going to do a little breath work to anchor the circle and allow people to get in and get settled. Right now, I'd like to invite our benevolent angels, loving ancestors, and Orisha, personal animal guides, and helping spirits be with us tonight. We each have a powerful, invisible team of support, and it's even more potent when we bring them together like this. So take a deep breath in, making that connection above, below, and at the heart. Deep breath in. And hold and release. I want you to start at your heart chakra, breathing as if you're breathing through and from your heart, feeling that expansion. We are honoring the direction of the east, an initiation point where we access the inner wisdom of the mind and the element of air. That's why breath is so important at the heart chakra. I want you to picture a beautiful emerald green crystal infused with light from within and spinning brightly, and take a deep breath in, connecting to your own heart. And hold and release. Come on down to your power center, your solar plexus, where we honor the direction of the south, a culmination point, and where we access the inner wisdom of the spirit and the element of fire. So connect to your own power center, picturing a beautiful golden yellow crystal infused with light from within and spinning brightly. And take a deep cleansing breath in at your power center. And hold and release. Come on down to your creative center, where we honor the direction of the west, a completion point, and we access the inner wisdom of the soul and the element of water. It's going to be a hot topic tonight. So I really want you to connect with this chakra and your root chakra tonight. So we're going to circle back to this later. So just open up your own creative flow and energetic flow. Picture a beautiful orange crystal infused with light from within and spinning brightly. And take a deep cleansing breath in at your creative center. And hold and release. Come on down to the root chakra, where we honor the direction of north, the conception point, and where we access the inner wisdom of the body and the element of earth. So make that connection, picturing a beautiful ruby red crystal infused with light from within and spinning brightly. And let's take a deep cleansing breath in and be here now. Deep breath. And hold and release. Okay, welcome everyone. This is going to be a very big 2-year period of growth and evolution for everyone. It's going to be particularly remarkable for the Virgo, Pisces, and Gemini, Sag departments of our lives. And should you have planets active in those signs, then Saturn is connecting and activating them from different angles. So let's just look at it as overall big picture initiation, integration going on for Virgo, Pisces. New beginnings and midpoints in those departments. Whereas Gemini, Sag departments are going to have to grow out of comfort zone into new territory, and Saturn is going to make it impossible to deny or delay or detour. So we really want to make friends with Saturn. I know a couple of people get grumpy when we start talking about Saturn, but I personally love it. Saturn has helped me make some very important things real in my life, and I like that. It has supported me in different ways for long-term success. And it's the maturity planet, so we check in with our levels as we evolve in life with Saturn. And loosely, you can look at that as every 7 years, our physical cells slough off and renew themselves. We are regenerative creatures. We're just a little slower than others. Saturn represents that part of us that can do that stabilizes and builds and brings into form. And what Jupiter helps us imagine, Saturn helps us bring it into form. So we like that. And they are a little tag team in the sky, so we get used to paying attention to their rhythm. Saturn's cycle overall is 28 to 30 years. The reason it has that little overlap is because of the retrograde periods, times where it slows down, and so that kind of extends that 28-year cycle. Now, again, kind of overall themes, when Saturn's kicking, we want to check in with Saturn things, okay? So Saturn rules tasks, form, structure, definition, authority, time, responsibility, decisions, society, government, and institutions, all under Saturn's domain. So we are dreaming up a new society, new institutions that will be for the people, by the people, of the people, all that good stuff, that really actually work for the people on the ground, because Pisces is very much the masses. So we have to be mindful of that. But it's what do you want to bring into form, and what forms that have run their course in 7, 14, 21, or 28 years. And we're going to talk about some pivot points that are all related for us to think back on there as well. Shadow side of Saturn is that we can feel or be very aware of the lack and limitation, depression, fear, claustrophobia, paralysis, postponing choices and decisions is generally a shadow side of Saturn, loneliness, hardship, resistance, inertia, abuse of power. Okay, so again, we're dreaming up a new system for ourselves that we're going to act on and initiate when Saturn moves into Aries 2.5 years from now. Okay, so this is also a big thing I want you feeling throughout the night, is that this is preparation for. Everything, especially in astrology, but in life too, is a response to the last thing and preparation for the next thing. So Saturn in Aquarius got us all present to our individuality, our unique contribution, the communities to which we belong, and if they really reflect who we really are, our authentic selves. It got us real present to our freedom and sovereignty and independence things, right? So we didn't like all the government shutdown stuff. We didn't like being imposed on by COVID things, and that was harsh. But what it did is it woke us up to how much we really want to do for ourselves and how much we might need structures and government institutions, healthcare, education, all of that. How much we might actually need to interact with those social systems, right? How much can you be independent and how much do you need a system to work within and a structure because you can't hold your own, right? So that sovereignty, independence, I want to be an individual thing is now shifted into Pisces, which reminds us all that, yes, we are individuals, but we're part of a collective whole. And we always say if one part is sick, the whole thing is sick. If one part is weak or broken, it affects the whole system. So this is where we're becoming aware of moving parts and moving pieces and how certain choices and decisions in our lives have affected us. Now, by the same token, you'll also hear me say Virgo, Pisces, Gemini, Sag are the energies of the processors. So right now, we are emotionally processing our reality. How do we feel about our current reality and purpose? What's going on there? And how many of us have just numbed out through food and pharmaceuticals and don't want to feel nothing because everything's too overwhelming because the world's kind of crazy right now? It's a lot. It's definitely a lot. I want to touch in on a couple of things first. Let me put a little groundwork on. Basically, Saturn takes 28 to 30 years to move through all 12 signs, and now we're at Pisces, the 12th sign. And so it's wrapping up a big 30-year cycle in the social collective zone. If you live with Saturn in Virgo, Pisces, or Gemini, Sag, then this is one of your pivot points in your personal cycle. So we definitely want to pay attention to that. And I'm going to touch on those years. This cycle that we're coming out of started in 1993 to 96, was the last time Saturn was in Pisces. And then it went forward 7, 8 years to 2000, 2003 when Saturn was in Gemini. Pivot point and a process, mental processing. Then it went another 7-8 years to 2007 to 2010 as Saturn went through Virgo. Now we were physically processing our reality, what systems really work and don't work, right? Lots of breakdowns in that year, too. 07, 08, 09. That was a lot, y'all. Then it went through Sagittarius in 2014 to 17. Now we're doing our spiritual processing and awakening any inspiration for a higher possibility for our reality. And right after that, we went through Capricorn and Aquarius, which was really challenging to have Saturn there, right? That really broke down the social systems and put us back in a position to think about how much we can handle for ourselves by ourselves, right? It spends 2.5 years in each sign, so we've got about 2.5 years to go in Pisces, and then we'll have 2.5 years in Aries to anchor the new 30-year cycle. So right now, we're completing a 30-year cycle and preparing to initiate. So we're kind of on that line. And depending on your own chart and age and stage of life will depend on kind of how much is ending and how much is beginning. Saturn is also known as the great teacher, Father Time, or Lord of Karma. Its whole purpose is to teach important lessons, to help us determine healthy limits, and remind you that you are responsible for all of it, who you are as well as what you create in the world. As Saturn moves through the sky and thus through each sign, it will activate Saturn lessons for the collective. During the 20th century, and we want to meditate on these years, y'all, do a little digging, Google these years, see what highlights in history were happening in your country or world or part of the world. 1905 to 08, Saturn in Pisces. 1935 to 38, 1964 to 67, 1993 to 96. So you all will be having Saturn return, like 93 to 96, baby. And now the 21st century brings our first one in Pisces during 23 to 26. So let's reflect and think micro to macro what was going on in your world or in your history, in your life during those years. But now we are at an unprecedented seed time for our personal, social, and collective lives. We want to think of Saturn as a teacher guide and think of Aries through Pisces as the lessons that we all have to learn. And just like any other education, some things will be naturally easier and naturally harder according to your individual blueprint and personal disposition, right? During Pisces, the lessons have to do with surrender, integration, and good boundaries. We are completing a 30-year cycle of reality and purpose. Personally, our roles and responsibilities have run a full cycle and should be considered for renewal at this time. Imagine this is the time to incubate the new vision that you will act on and activate in more literal terms when Saturn hits Aries in 2026. So we want to prepare consciously. Okay, deep breath. The Pisces-Virgo axis in our chart is where our intuition lies and learning about right timing for our bodies. Okay, so this is what we're calling up, is right timing for us on, again, what's kind of completing and what's initiating. On the positive side, we can harness our imaginations to think differently and dream bigger so that we are calling in a new vision for self and humanity, as well as a deeper connection to and reverence for the mystery of life on Earth. We are being called to more awareness and care of our physical bodies, as well as improved spiritual practices and deepened dedication to honoring being a spirit in human form. Okay, this is going to become real obvious. We will reset our personal boundaries in social collective settings and reclaim our power to control the input of information or images into our consciousness, right? Being more discerning and creative rather than being lazy and accepting things at face value. Deep breath. On the negative side, the shadow expression of this energy leads to literal insanity, a disconnect from reality because it is too harsh. This reality, the disconnect because it's too harsh, upsetting, or counter to the vision in your mind, right? We can lose ourselves in the overwhelm of societal and collective crumbling and go down a dark tunnel of victimhood, martyrdom, and judgment. Okay, let's watch those. When it goes retrograde, we're going to get 2 or 3 chances. Well, it dips back and forth into Pisces, re-enters Aries at the end. So that's when we get to really recalibrate whatever we're building along the way. So we're going to be mindful and want to check in So if you can think of anything that is related to how you were processing your world, what was going on in terms of your systems for living during 93 to 96, 2000 to 03, 07 to 2010, 2014 to 2017, and now what kind of recurring themes are coming back around for you to process during 23 to 26 as it moves through Pisces. So we have a light and shadow bullets list to play with. With Saturn in Pisces, we can tap into our spiritual self-mastery and create all new practices. That's very important. Manifesting the vision and imagining a better reality. Intuition, empathy, and psychic ability improved, but that's also what needs new and improved boundaries and protections as well. Being of service to others while providing for and protecting self. Altruism, community outreach, and charity is going to be a lot more because that's Pisces compassion for the world and for the social collective systems. So, find a need and fill it. If you see something that some part of the world needs, you're not going to be the only one that needs it. Intentional solitude in nature, a disconnect from technology. This is not a good time for technology, y'all. This is when major scams and weirdness happens. It's not good. So get out of technology and get into nature. We want to start thinking about new rhythms and better routines that support your spirit and your body, kind of that daily practice for your spirit and a daily practice for your body. We want to get super creative, art, creativity, photography, new mediums of expression of all kinds. Really plan to activate your imagination. And remember, it's Pisces, Neptune. This is the spirituality end of things. So sanctuary, sanctification, and sacred space are going to be critical. Remember those boundaries. Your personal sacred space is your little hut that you get to go back to and recharge your battery and fortify your being so that you can navigate with more conscious awareness. Now the shadow side, and we got to be very aware within ourselves and watching others for major, unfounded, irrational fears, phobias, and projections of all kinds. So that's the other reason to keep your shields up, because people are going to want to puke their crap all over you, and ain't nobody having that. We're not doing it that way. Victimization and martyrdom, giving away your power and authority. Depression, apathy, and pessimism. Self-sabotage, doubt, and insecurity. And think about this, y'all. If you have any of these things, even once in a while, then Saturn living there for 2.5 years could really bring them to the surface a little more than usual. Judgment, shame, blame, and guilt. Surrender, completion, and endings. We got to get okay with endings, y'all. New beginnings are so much fun. I love new beginnings, but you got to go through the ending to get there. Seeing the potential rather than the reality. Okay, this is our rose-colored glasses. Kind of put them in the drawer. We do not need those right now. We could end up walking into walls. Denial, spiritual bypassing, and avoidance behavior. You're going to be checking people along the way. Where you're deepening your dedication, other people are going to be running for the hills. Confusion and overwhelm, extreme sensitivity, and lack of adequate boundaries. Okay, so again, boundaries are going to be all importante, I promise. And a recalibration every so often is not a bad idea, like every 7 years. That's really good. Now, thinking about forward years in this dynamic of Pisces, Virgo, Gemini, Sag, the next set we'll go through will be 2030 to 32 in Gemini. After that, Virgo will be 2036 to 39, and Saturn will move through Sag during 2044 to 47. Just in case y'all want to go that far ahead, I don't know. Now, the juicy stuff was the activations, okay? So Saturn's only there every 30 years. And it's going to link up with the North Node in Taurus, Earth and Water, Pisces to Taurus, our reality to the life path and direction, in a sextile, which is an opportunity to gain traction. And so the prayer day for everybody, light a candle, put a glass of water next to it, write a petition out that has to do with you using your imagination to cultivate the most delicious path possible. In Taurus, all our food, sex, and money issues are provided for. We love this. We want to be in our bodies as earthlings. Being connected to Mother brings our abundance. Staying grounded brings our security. And so these two interacting, it's every 20 years that North Node's in Taurus, every 30 that Saturn's in Pisces. I don't even know the math to line them up together like this. But April 14th, just around the corner, we're getting together on March 9th. So about a month from now, we're going to want to take a pause for the cause on April 14th. 414 is a magical number for my numbers people. And just imagine. And one of the ways that we're adding to our magic backpack and our imaginative capacities is what Ye has asked us to do is to think of our dreams and visions of the future that we are wanting to call in as memories. So we want to practice saying, remember when I did this, this, and this? You know, we're planning a whitewater rafting trip in May, and I've never done that. My mother used to do it every year. So I know I'm going to get a great channeled message as I'm out there doing something fun that she used to do with her cohorts on a regular basis. But I'm loving the idea of being able to say, remember when we did whitewater rafting? That was so fun. You know, so think about what you're calling in. Feel it in your body as if it's already happened, and know that when you put that emotion and feeling behind it, that draws it to you that much quicker. And so that's one way we would like to imagine living a reality and purpose and walking a path and direction that honored the spirituality and the mystery of life, as well as provided for our physical needs and personal security issues and things like that. This is an opportunity to recalibrate that and to, like I said, gain some traction in living a certain way, holding a certain standard for yourself, and setting yourself up for the future as well along the way. So that's one. And that's really the only big thing that Saturn is doing in 2023. Then it jumps to April 22nd of 2025. By that time, the North Node will have moved into Pisces, and Saturn and North Node will link up to initiate the new dream, okay, the big dream. So this is what I mean. If we can work in the sextile and the opportunity to build our foundation and to make certain things real and to get real creative. Okay, everybody, activate your inner artist yesterday. Activate your creativity as soon as possible. You just go down the childhood rabbit hole of whatever you used to like to do. Like, I used to love to do ceramics. I used to like to make them and then burn them in the kiln and then paint them and everything we did, right? I love that now. I don't really have a kiln or anything now, but I did get me a wood carving set, and I got something else that was like arts and craftsy. And so I'm getting back into it, y'all, and it's going to be so well supported because that's going to be the way you can channel your own messages that are coming through you, and that's where you can open up to receive messages that are coming to you. It's going to be deep. It's so powerful. So 4/22/2025 will be a prayer day for initiating a new dream, a new vision, a new way of life, being a spirit in human form. It's going to be a takeoff for all my creatives. I mean, just take off, and anything you create with love and passion is going to bring some joy and goodness back into your life. It's just going to be so juicy. And at the same time, it's super, super spiritual. So again, if we get these practices in place kind of now, 23, 24, 25, we can ascend, we can rise, we can be multidimensional and moving through the dimensions with more ease and grace. Like one of the ways I teach people about 3D, 5D, 5D is when we're in nature and everything is lining up and all is well. Everything is clicking, everything's moving. That is our 5D when we're operating at the highest possible level in connection with our bodies and our spirits. That's the highest time that we can create. And then it's still going to keep going where 2025, April 4th, okay, this is the other thing it's doing. The only thing it's doing in Pisces, linking up with Uranus. So now we have Saturn, the planet of reality and purpose, going at it with, in an opportunity to gain traction, Uranus, the freedom and liberation planet. So we like these two. Last time they were together was in a square, I believe. And so it was challenging. And it was the old and the new and the frustration of trying to break out of old paradigms and function at the new levels. Well, hopefully we've all been able to do a little bit of that by now. And the sextile becomes an opportunity with earth and water elements that work really well together. Now here's the catch. 2 out of 3 times that Saturn's going to link up with Uranus, April 4th of 2025 and January 19th of 2026. It will be Pisces to Taurus, earth and water. What's deep is that they're both going to do their process, which they travel at different speeds. They're going to go backwards, and they're both getting ready to dip into new signs. So on August 11th of 2025, Saturn will move to 1 Aries, and Uranus will move to 1 Gemini, and they'll still sextile. Now it'll be air and fire. So this is kind of wild, y'all. This is part of the overlap of, again, letting go of the old, stepping into the new with ease and grace, with opportunities abound, and a balance of all these elements for these social and collective planets that are going to affect us personally as well. So just thinking about your Pisces-Aries dynamic and crossover, right? And then think about your Taurus-Gemini crossover. We are grounding and anchoring a new reality and purpose on the Pisces-Aries side. And we are liberating ourselves to new levels on the Taurus-Gemini side. So that means the creature comforts and our physical realities. And then Gemini is how we express ourselves. And again, with that unique contribution that's trying to wake up and come through you. So we have this tremendous support all through 25 to gain some traction with that. Then, this is what's deep. The biggest one of all will be 2/20/26. I know we're going far into advance, y'all, but just take these notes, and we'll circle back to this audio. All of us will. But Saturn will be at 0 Aries at the end of this trip through Pisces, right? And so will Neptune. Now we got the reality and the dreams planet at the world point of 0 Aries. This means we can definitely make something different and new real in our world. So just know that this is the incubation, preparation, processing, organization, 2.5 years before we step out, step up, and move to this new level personally, socially, and collectively. That's huge. Now, the little things that are going to happen, I thought I should just let y'all know, because I do look at the asteroids, the divine feminine. Juno is going to, I think, extend her stay in Virgo, it looks like. And if she does that, that means we are recalibrating how we do partnership with other people. Is going to completely depend on our own individual systems and personal practices and how much we can actually handle. Saturn being opposite that Virgo means that we might get a little bit of a reality check in our relationships around balance and integration, what we need to be doing in real time, and how can we deepen our commitments to our spiritual selves and human selves, to our body and our spirit. That's another big piece of recommitment going on. We're committing to a rhythm with ourselves, a commitment to ourselves, a partnership with ourselves in a lot of ways. Okay, and Virgos, when we go back to being virgins, whole unto ourselves, that's when you're looking at your rhythm, your right timing, your systems for living. So Saturn is a great stabilizer, but from across the way means we might have to balance out a few extremes to make that work right. Now, the initiation comes 5/13/2025 when Saturn conjuncts Ceres at 29 degrees Pisces, which is a magical degree. This is huge for rebirthing how we take care of ourselves, how we nurture ourselves and our purpose and our reality. If we don't feed that with some imagination and some love and compassion, then it's all about the money and the status and the worldly things, and that doesn't usually satisfy our heart and soul. So we want to deepen our commitment to self-care over 24-25 as well. And the other one that will dip into Virgo, July 23rd of 2023 will be a good prayer day. Saturn in the sky will be opposite Pallas in Virgo. So now we're talking our unique genius, our healing capacity. This is powerful. So what are we healing in our bodies and our spirits? Very important. And then I have a note here for 3/28/2026, which is around spring equinox 2026. Saturn will have moved into Aries, and Pluto will have moved into Aquarius. That's going to be an opportunity between air and fire that work well together. Aries is you, the individual. Aquarius, your unique contribution. Saturn and Pluto transforming our reality. It's going to be big, y'all. And again, personal, social, collective, depending on who you are. I want to run through just a quick little bullets to remind you, again, other things to be thinking about during these 2 years while Saturn moves through Pisces. It's going to activate your imagination, like we said, connect you to your feeling realm where you're feeling and intuiting what's right for you and what right timing is for you, and you're activating your inner creative, your inner artist, so that you can bring that imagination to all your roles and responsibilities, whatever they may be. And we want to think about that too. As we process personally, as we create these new rhythms and routines personally, what is that going to allow us to do in terms of our purpose and in the world, in terms of what we're going to be known for in the future? So what do you want to be known for in your family and private and in public with your work people and your career? So thinking about your reputation is important when Saturn's active as well. We want to create a purpose, not a job with Saturn. If you don't shift willingly, your Saturn will remind you that it's your life and not someone else's. This is the inner authority part of Saturn that we want to work with. Create your own structure or live within another's. When you can't hold it together, generally speaking, the social or your family or your culture will push you into a box until you can handle something else. So really, really be aware of whether you're creating your reality or living someone else's. Are you creating your purpose? Or are you living someone else's purpose or someone else's definition of purpose for you? We're also tapping into that line of visible, invisible. Saturn rules the visible. Pisces is very much the invisible realms that we want to work with. So we're bringing those together to be effective, right? We don't want to drown in it. We want to get creative with it. And so being mindful about how, when, where, with whom, that you ever give your power away, how that works for you. And then we think about the desire to fit in, succeed, or get ahead is often where we will bend and give away our power consciously or not, right? Saturn always facilitates lessons. So we want to learn the lesson of trust, discernment, learning who, when, and how much to trust. Is going to be a very big theme for 2.5 years. And ultimately, when it moves into Aries, you're going to want to be able to trust yourself. And again, trust your intuition that tells you what right timing is for you. And getting practical about being a multidimensional creature. Let's get practical. Let's work some things into the rhythm. Another thing I've been preaching lately is to schedule your downtime. If you put in little pockets of nothing, I'm not scheduling anything during these hours this day or whatever, once a week, once a month, whatever you can do, then when you get to that time, trust me, Spirit will give you something to fill that time with. But if you all of a sudden suddenly have open time, if you can get into nature and what have you, but a lot of times we trick off during those times. We're not productive. We get sudden times on our own, and then we don't know what to do. We might even, like me, I have multiple projects, so then I got to really decide which one do I feel like doing. But work on your multidimensional self. Practice with your magic. Practice when you are calling things in and when you succeed. Just checking in with your purpose. Are you doing a purpose, or are you just getting through the day? Are you just surviving, or are you getting ready to thrive and prosper? Are you setting up the foundation and structure that can help guide and support you? So now here's where I went down the rabbit hole, y'all, with the divinations. And even though it's a lot, we're not going to do a lot of reading. It's just keywords. But powerful rabbit hole, let's just say, because I really wanted to know how to deal with Saturn and Pisces pretty much from every angle, right? So these were real deep and juicy. So I started asking one question, which led to other questions, which led to other questions. So I ended up asking for guidance around completion, thinking the 30-year cycle. What have we basically anchored in our foundation that can support and protect us going forward? And I pulled a card for initiation. The 30-year cycle we're initiating. what will we anchor going forward that will support and protect us and be part of the foundation, right? Then I asked about emotional processing, personal boundaries, personal roles, personal responsibilities, your personal magic, and then practicing with your spirit guides and practicing with your animal guides, okay? And of course, this always goes without saying, your ancestors and Orisha guides. This is it, y'all. This is where we're going to really start practicing our magic and activating our multidimensional selves, which know how to do this innately and very quite naturally. So when I asked about what was in the foundation to already support and protect us, okay, here's the other thing I got to just put up front so I don't have to say it every time. I did a series. It's 5 cards each. You'll get the PDF. It's so juicy. Each one is on one page, so you're good to go with all 5 on one page for each little question. So I asked the ancestors. I asked the animals. I asked the angels and ancestors deck, the sacred traveler, because we are all sacred travelers on this planet. And I asked the ancestors for, what to do. What could we physically do? So the guidance for completion and what's in our foundation: awaken your inner shaman. Connect, invoke, and heal. Okay? We've already healed quite a bit, but Saturn in Pisces is really going to allow us to anchor that healing. The animal guide to help with that process of integration on the foundation after 30 years of hard work and dedication is number 39, Timberwolf, instinct, guidance, belonging, and order. This is what will assist with the completion, with the ending part of this. The angels and ancestor guides said direction guardian, who tells us to choose your path. And this is just, they're so beautiful. That's why I wanted you to have these cards. They're in the PDF, in the post-call goodies. Then we are stepping into our power, and the quote says, you are strong beyond measure. Okay? You have built some muscle over the last 30 years. In some kind of way, you have gone through 12 major lessons to come to this place where you can put it all together to initiate something new with. And the ancestors said drumming will help us here. Drumming has proven to many to be therapeutic, or to have many therapeutic benefits, including reducing tension, anxiety, stress, and boosting the immune system. Drum or rattle for 10 minutes a day for the next week and see how you feel. So here's what we generally do. We rattle around our auric field to break up the energy, and then we use the feathers to brush out that energy, to sweep it out of the field, and then we drum to get grounded again. So following the drum beat in your body and soul, I feel the rhythms of the drum beat throughout my body and soul. Deep breath. That's our guidance for completion. Then we have guidance for the initiation was be an open channel, mediumship, ancestors, spirit. The animal guide was number 29, wild horse, freedom, sensitivity, spirit, and partnership. The angel guide, protection, guardian. Now, this was deep, y'all, because in their deck, they say drop your shields. Well, I'm saying activate your shields. This is what's going to be initiated going forward. You have new shields in place because you have new ancestors and spirit guides and things like that. Your higher self, you're more engaged with your protective spirits. Transformation is coming from the sacred traveler. A fresh new way of living emerges. So dream big, y'all. And the ancestors said to build an altar for this new beginning, for the initiation. What you will anchor into your foundation is knowing that you are a channel, that you have the freedom to move about and to partner with life in certain ways. You have the protection guardian around you by whatever definition you call them. You are up for this rebirth and transformation, so just build a little altar. It can be as simple as a candle and a glass of water, or as elaborate as your big dreams are, right? So just do what feels comfortable for you. Then I asked for guidance on our emotional processing and how to deal with this water, and of course we got connect with water, ocean, water spirits, and hydrate. So mermaids and all the water's helpers. Go deep. Find your kinfolk. Find your team. Assemble your team, okay, to help you going through emotional processes that are necessary but not always easy, right? Dolphin is number 4 in the endangered deck. Joy, light, flow, and compassion. Compassion with yourself as you process emotions that might be coming up from a long time ago, 7 to 30 years, We have the magic guardian that says unlock the magic within. We are, what do they say, 80% water. The planet is 80% water. We can speak the future into our water, and we can speak it like memories, and it will become real. So let's work with water in every possible way. Cleansing your head, taking baths of all kinds to activate different powers, using different herbs and things. Cleansing waters. Purification activates vibrant life force. So think what happens when we purify with water. We cleanse, we renew ourselves, right? We're peeling a layer, we're shedding a layer of life, of 30 years of life. It's so deep. The ancestors want us to commune with the thunder beings. Thunder beings are powerful spirit beings responsible for thunder and lightning, bringing both destruction and a celebration of life with the emergence of springtime, which in this hemisphere we are moving toward. Be willing to show your thunder and lightning when necessary, and in so doing, establishing your boundaries and your authority. So the other thing about water is we want to give the flow a structure, right? Stay strong and set clear boundaries with others. I am powerful and loving, and I set boundaries when needed, Ashe. So just remember, boundaries are all important for the next 2.5 years. It's like number 1 on the hit parade. Are your boundaries hemp or bamboo? Super strong, super flexible, but breathable. We want to kind of know what's going on out there, but we want to be completely protected from it. And they are super strong, super flexible, super breathable. Now, the new roles that are coming in, what were we going to need to deal with that? And what will allow for both flow and containment? How will we give the flow a structure? And this was deep, y'all. Psychic strength, shield, talismans, golden light. We have all the tools. They're built in. They're called our 6 senses that help us navigate this planet. Now, maybe computer chips can help us fly to Mars and the moon and everything else, and we can navigate other planets with computer chips. But for this planet, we need our 6 senses. And so we're going to build that in the next couple of years so that whatever we initiate in Aries, whatever we build and deepen our dedication to in Taurus, Saturn's going to keep moving through. And right now, we need those boundaries and that intuitive strength where our intuition, empathy, and psychic abilities are super strong so that we're feeling, sensing, tasting, picking up what we need to know. Again, with good boundaries, good shields by our guides that block anything non-essential, anything that doesn't have to do with us. Sea turtle is number 7 in the endangered deck. Beginnings, self-reliance, journey, and home. Okay, we just did this in whale. By going back to the deep end of the ocean, we are going home. The waters are our home. Womb waters are so important. The angel guide was shapeshifter to transform and unveil your gifts. Okay, and this is what's going to help with your personal boundaries, because you're going to have little intuitive hits, and you're going to have to stop and listen to them, pay attention. Sometimes we have things hit our spirit, and we don't stop and pause and pay attention. And then we look back and go, ooh, we should have followed our first mind. That was it. Fellow travelers, support is all around you. Always knowing that. You have resources. The ancestors said to shapeshift, so now we got shapeshifting twice in this same hand. Shapeshifting is a shamanic practice of mentally, emotionally, and even physically changing into another persona. This is where we want to call in our animal guides a lot of the time. Experiment with your appearance, posture, gestures, clothing, vocalizations, and attitude to take on a different expression of who you are. Wear some clothing that is unusual for you and create and enact a different persona. I readily and easily shapeshift to express an entirely different me. So deep breath. But our personal boundaries will be enforced by reinforced by our psychic strength, okay? So setting your shields, Keep asking your higher self or your Ori to filter everything first so that nothing that doesn't have to do with you even comes into your conscious awareness. Then I asked for a couple of cards on our personal roles, these new roles that we're going to be taking on going forward. Well, what was deep is I got explore your creative side, visualize, paint, record. This is something I'm getting from Yeye, is everyone has creativity within them. Even if you don't think you're an artist, you have a creative side. And the more you engage your imagination and your creativity, the more unique your character and your being becomes, and then you really find your purpose. You really find your place. Now, exploring your creative side and what will you be known for going forward was kind of what I was feeling when I pulled these. So you want to be known for your unique contribution. The animal support is number 32, which is actually my life path number. Golden orb spider, which I actually communed with for about 90 days when I was birthing KarmicTools.com. And I have pictures and everything. And her keywords are messenger, balance, awareness, and design. So think about that. Think about what you're a messenger for, what you're a voice for in the world, your creative expression. The angel guide is the earth guardian. Stay rooted and grounded. Stay connected to earth. Uncovering treasure. Beneath the surface lies great bounty. And I love this one because it's a dragon, and it's got its tail wrapped around a little treasure chest. It's so beautiful. And the ancestors want us to do soul retrieval so that we can really get to our true, authentic, creative self. Soul retrieval is finding and returning a lost soul fragment that has split off, typically due to trauma. A shamanic practitioner can perform a soul retrieval, or you may be able to do so yourself with your power animal. I wholeheartedly welcome my returning soul fragment. I now call back that lost soul fragment that is ready to return. So, like I said, that creativity and craftsy part of me is ready to return. I literally have not done it in 30 years. It's crazy. And now it's just coming so naturally thanks to some of the energies. Then I asked about our new responsibilities. And it's even more important for the commitments and the things that you choose to take on that you remember who you are. This is from the ancestors. Culture, resilience, and beliefs. So staying true to yourself. What was deep, the animal support was salmon, number 5 in the endangered deck, faith, determination, independence, and change. But what I was also feeling was that return to home that salmon do. They go swimming upriver, not the easiest track to go, but they got to get home to do what they came to do. You have to have a home place, and hopefully that's your sacred space, right? Hopefully there's a corner in your house that is all yours for altars and sacred work and magical workings. Because now the angel guide is the shaman that says trust in higher forces, and the sacred traveler says be a wise leader because you are a beacon for others. When you remember who you are, when you stay true to yourself, you give everyone around you permission to be true to themselves. And it's contagious. I love it. And this was crazy, y'all. The ancestors said singing. We got to sing. Find your voice, chant, poetry, whatever you like. Sound bowls, sound healing. Oh, work with that throat, yo. Singing sacred songs or chants is a way to make a conscious connection with spirit and spirit guides. Learn 2 or 3 sacred songs or chants and sing them at least once a day. And that's the thanks to Kawabemi. I am learning how to get my songs for Oya together. Sing unabashedly with an open heart. I sing praises and gratitudes to Spirit at every opportunity. Okay? And singing brings you back into yourself, right? I do it a lot around here. For my workouts, I play so much music, and I love to just sing those songs that get my diaphragm really open and work my voice. And a lot of times before these things, when I can, before a call or before an event, I try to sing then, too, because it opens up my voice and gets my voice right for talking for an hour and a half. So play with yourself, play with different ideas and self-expressions that work for you. But remember that when you're going into responsibilities, you're making choices or decisions or commitments, then you want to start with who you are and what you're in it for and what's your why, what's your motivation, right? Then I was asking how to stay in touch with your own magic, and we got notice the signs, investigate, symbols, and nature spirits. Everything on earth is connected to our bodies and our six senses and can communicate with us. We have to learn how to do it. We have to learn how to communicate ourselves. We have to open our receivers, turn our receivers on, right? But practice, 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 practice. I have literally manifested lately. Well, one was definitely the crystal. I got a carnelian flame crystal that I had a picture of from 2 years ago I've totally forgotten about. And I went looking for some other pictures and found an identical picture of this crystal I just got. And there was something else, but it was faster than 2 years. It was like instant. So look, catch yourself, write it down, track your times where you're psychic and you're right about it. Then the animal support is owl, masked owl, number 26 in the endangered deck. But owl is all about wisdom. I love this. Insight, wisdom, foresight, and messenger again. So just keep in mind that you are a channel. Even if you don't believe it, even if you don't think you do channeling, you are a channel for God's work on earth. You are a channel for expression of your higher self. The angel is mirror guardian. Take time to reflect. Okay, again, pause. Pay attention to those messages. First light, beginning a new cycle. So you're beginning a new cycle where you can rely on your magic, okay? Saturn makes it real. And the ancestors want us to do more divination. Over the next 2 years, all channels are open, y'all. We can so ground our connection to our spirit guides. Divine guidance from spirit shows up in many different ways through signs and omens to offer guidance along your path. Ask a specific question of spirit, then pay attention to the response that life presents to you in various ways. Omens and signs now offer clear guidance. I now receive clear and meaningful messages from spirit. So what happened when I was clarifying that, it was crazy because I pulled spirit guides and connect with the animals. So it was like, in order to work our magic, we need to stay in touch with both our spirit guides and our animal guides. So this is about practice and exploration. Spirit guides, insight, guidance, and purpose. And Dragonfly was the animal guide, number 30. Magic, spontaneity, immediacy, and change. The angel was Fire Guardian, ignites your passion. The Sacred Traveler said navigating by the stars to follow your bliss. So this is your spirit guides. This is your higher self. The way I look at it is spirit guides come from the upper chakras or Father Sky, whereas animal guides come from Mother Earth and from our lower chakras, and they help inform us, okay? We are spirits in human form. We need the guidance on both sides of this. So for our spirit guides, the ancestors want us to do a medicine shield. A medicine shield is one that carries the owner's sacred intentions and quote-unquote medicine or spiritual power, okay? Create your own medicine shield, allowing a vision of what it looks like to come to you in your journeys or meditations. Place your hand on your heart and another on your solar plexus and feel the power. I am spiritually and physically protected with my medicine shield. And you are always protected when you're going to your higher self. You go through your higher self to the cosmos. But when we're working with the animal guides, doing healing work, we have number 33, Gecko, synchronicity, optimism, truth, and mobility. Okay, so think of those animals that move like you want to move and live like you want to live. The angel guardian was animal guardian, to trust our instincts. The sacred traveler said passion and pleasure, to savor your life, okay, to be in your body, to be grounded on the earth, to be connected. Then you get more wisdom. You get more of your information that is right for you because it's coming through your channels in your body. And the ancestors want us to practice a spirit animal dance. Any spirit animal you feel close to is honored when you invite them to merge with you and dance through your body. Invite your spirit animal to merge with you and allow them to move your body. My spirit animal is my spiritual ally. I allow myself to be moved and danced by Ruby Red Wolf. That would be they say to put the name of your spirit animal in there. So we are well covered for this dual trip with our body and spirit. So that led to the meditation I wanted to do that is related to our root and our sacral chakra. Our root is earth, our sacral is water. And we are going to be mastering working with both. And just think what earth and water do. It's like clay. It builds things. We're going to bring certain things into form from our imagination, from our creative authenticity. But I want you to open to receive that which is just for you. In this meditation, like I said, we're going back to our base, back to our roots, and back to our creative center where all things begin. This will be a juicy meditation to circle back to maybe every 6 months or whenever you feel the need to reground and come back into your own. So deep breath. You are about to go on a journey. It is a journey through the layers of your own self. It is a journey through your life, through the worlds within and around you. It begins here, in your own body. It begins now, wherever you are. It is your own personal quest. Make yourself comfortable for the journey because it is not short. It could take months, years, or lifetimes, but you have already chosen to go. You began long, long ago. Deep breath. You have been provided a vehicle in which to take this journey. It is your body. It is equipped with everything you might need. One of your challenges on this journey is to keep your vehicle nourished, happy, and in good repair. It is the only one you will be given. So we begin our journey by exploring our vehicle. Take a moment to feel your body. Feel it breathing in and breathing out. Feel your heart beating inside, the moisture in your mouth, the food in your belly, the sensation of cloth on your skin. Explore the space your body occupies, height, width, weight. Find the front and back, top, bottom, and sides. Begin a dialogue with your body so that you may learn its language. Ask your body how it feels. See if it is tired or tense. Listen to the answer. How does it feel about going on this journey? You have been given a vehicle for this journey, but it is not something you have. It is something you are. You are your body. You are a body living a life in this physical world. Getting up in the morning, eating, going to work, touching, sleeping, bathing. Feel your body going through its daily routines. See the number of interactions it has with the outside world in a day. Notice the interchange of hands touching doors, steering wheels, other hands, papers, dishes, children, food, your lover. Think about how your body has grown and learned and changed over the years. What has it become to you? Do you ever thank it for taking care of you? What is the world like that your body interacts with? Feel the textures, smells, colors, and sounds around you. Be your body, feeling them. All the sensations your mind might miss, but your body experiences. Feel the hardness of the earth in wood, cement, and metal. Feel its straight lines, its solidity, its permanence. Feel the soft firmness of the earth in its natural state, with its trees and grasses, lakes, streams, and mountains. Feel its curving gentleness, its protection and abundance. Feel the richness of this planet with its infinity of forms. Feel its immensity, its solidity, and how it supports you as you sit in your place on it. Deep breath. This planet is a vehicle too. It takes us through time and through space. Feel the earth as a central, unified entity, a living body just like you, with an infinity of cells working together as a whole. You are a cell in this great body, part of Mother Earth, one of her children. We begin our journey here on this great body of Earth. Our long climb upwards begins by going down. We go down into this body as we go down into our own bodies, into our flesh, into our guts, into our legs and feet, digging our roots deep into the earth which supports and nourishes us. We move deep into her rocks and soil, deep into her guts of red-hot lava, seething deep below, into her source of life and movement and power. Deep breath. When we sink deeply, we come to the base of our spine and find a red glowing ball of energy, glowing like the core of the earth. Feel this molten energy running down your legs, through your knees, into your feet. Feel it running through your feet, into the floor beneath you, through the floor and down into the earth, burrowing between rocks and roots, finding nourishment, support, and stability. Feel this cord of energy as an anchor, settling you, calming you, grounding you. You are here. You are connected. You are solid, but you are molten inside. Deep within your roots, you find your past, your memories, your primal self. Your connection here is simple, direct. You remember your heritage, your ancient self as a child of the earth. She is your teacher. What is this matter that comes from earth? Think of the chair you are sitting in, the tree it once was, the cotton in the field, the cloth on the loom, the workers that transported it, sold it, sat on it before you. Think of the things you have, the complexity in each one of them, their abundance. Think of the financial abundance you may have, however large or small it may be. Think of it as a gift from the earth. How does it come to you? What does your body do to get it? What do you use it for? Think of this money as a stream of life running into you and running out of you, through your hands, your feet, your heart, and your mind. As it flows through you, feel yourself in constant exchange with the earth. Let the feelings of abundance come up from the earth into your feet, your legs, your pelvis, your stomach, heart, and hands. Feel its expression in your throat, its recognition in your vision, its imprint in your mind. Take a deep breath and let it go down again, through your body, through your head, neck, shoulders, arms, chest, belly, genitals, legs, and feet, and down into the earth, down below the surface of the earth, finding stability, finding nourishment, finding peace. Your body is the journey, and it is where you begin. It is your connection to the physical world, your foundation, and home of your dance. You are the place from which all action and understanding will arise, and to which it will return. You are the testing ground of truth. You are the ground on which all things rest. You are the earth from which all things grow. You are here. You are solid. You are alive. You are the point from which all things begin. Deep breath. Quietly you lie at peace, alive against the earth that is still, solid, unmoving. You are still, yet for every ebb and flow of breath, There is movement in your body. There is change. From inner to outer and from outer to inner, the path between the worlds is woven through you, the path of change. As your chest rises, the breath moves through your nose, throat, and lungs. It ebbs and flows as evenly and gracefully as waves upon a shore, back and forth, empty and full, in and out. Inside, your heart beats, your blood pulsates. A river of life connects each and every cell within you. Blood flows outward. Blood flows in toward the center again. Your cells expand and contract, ever reproducing and ever dying. Wiggle a finger back and forth. Impulses of nerves run down your arms. Your breathing continues. In, out, in, out. Deep in your belly, you become aware of a warm glow of orange, pulsing through your pelvis, through your abdomen, through your genitals. Pulsations of orange light move in rivulets down your legs, up again through your thighs, flowing through your belly and up through your back to nourish all of you. You are alive. You are a wave of motion. Nothing within you is truly still. Nothing around you is truly still. Everything is constantly changing at each and every moment. Every sound, every ray of light, every breath is an oscillation, back and forth, constantly moving, swaying, flowing. A flow of constant change, changing every moment from the last. By the time you finish this meditation, both you and the world will be different. Within your body is a river of change. Find the subtle inner flows of movement and thought, moving up, down, around, and through. Find them and follow them. Allow them to gain momentum, removing obstacles by easing any tension that you may find. Exaggerate their flow with outward movements. Sway in your chair, rock back and forth, creating a rhythmic motion. Let the rhythm build until you feel like getting up. Get up and move around, swaying on your feet, circling with your hips, bending your knees, always keeping the flow even and steady, remembering the roots below. You sway back and forth, up and down, in and out, expanding, yet ever returning to your core self once again. Deep breath. You move with the flow of water, sometimes slow like a great river, sometimes quickly like a spring stream, sometimes languishing like a quiet lake, sometimes passionate like the waves of the sea. Raise an arm and imagine water flowing down through it. Feel the wet fluid run down your back, your buttocks, your toes. Think of the water as it flows from the sky, caressing the mountains, running in rivulets to its various pools. Imagine water raining down on you, caressing your body, running in rivulets down your pelvis and legs, down to soften the earth below. You are the rain as you fall effortlessly from heaven to earth. You are many droplets as your thoughts fall from your mind. In tiny movements, the tides within you grow and move, faster as they plunge downward, cascading over pinnacles of earth, then slowly as they slither serpentine across great valleys of your fertile fields, until, as one, you ebb and flow with the tides of the sea, pulled by the moon in its dance of dark and light. Your oceans, vast and deep, abound with life. Your passion reaches outward, spills onto the shore, and returns again within you. You drink in all the change around you, pulling its movement through you as your life ebbs and flows. In and out, you breathe. From the vast depths of ebb and flow, you reach, you touch, you find your body. Sensation flows into your hand across your skin, sensation known to be none but you. Your hand moves across curves of flesh and follows lines of movement. You sway to the sensuality of your own touch. Inside you rise, emotions churning, yearning, flowing, bubbling. They reach and touch and rise, becoming movements, waves of change, the waters flowing within and without. You are alone, yet others are around you. They too ebb and flow and change and touch and yearn. Your movements flow to join them, desiring to unite, to merge, to move towards something new. Your hands long to touch, to pull the oceans closer, to feel the flow of other tides mixing with your own. Your belly heaves, your sex awakens, your thirst for touch and reach beyond yourself. You find your other, different yet the same. Exploring, you begin to merge. The movements build within you, exalting you, expressing you, caressing you. Your passions swell in ocean waves to crash upon the shore and satisfy your needs. The waters ebb and flow, nurture, cleanse, and heal. As they flow with each yearning, each movement, each breath. Ecstatic and uniting, you merge, complete within yourself, and completed once again with another. You dance and rise and fall and rest. You are water, the essence of all forms, yet formless. You are the point from which each direction flows, and you are the flow. You are the one that feels. You are the one that moves. You are the one that embraces the other. Shall we flow together and join our souls in this journey down the river of life? Shall we flow together to the sea? Deep breath. Saturn in Pisces is going to allow us to give the flow a structure, to have a base to our creativity and a foundation to our self-expression in new ways that are kind of infinite at this entree, at this beginning stage of it just stepping in. We can begin to dream up the new rhythms and the new nourishment and the new substance of our lives. And the new stories, ultimately activating the imagination means we're ready to live a new narrative, to tell a new story, walk by faith, and trust that we will be provided for at every step of the way, even if we can't say on the outset how that's going to happen. We can't always know that. So, thank you all for hanging late and going down the deep dive with us. And I would love to hear from you, anyone that has any questions or things that you want to touch on or share with the group. That would be fun. Otherwise, I just want to thank you so much for being part of the community. Reach out when you need to.
Well, I just wanted to say what resonated with me. Everything resonated with me, really. But I just wanted to reiterate something that you said. We are not manifesting in a 3D way anymore. And if anything, you're going to see it. I was talking to someone earlier. I was having a session, and I said, in the past, we've had this paradigm that, working hard is going to get you what you want. That's never been the case, because we have people that don't work hard that sometimes get rich, and people that are working like dogs and they can't make 2 pennies together. So the efforting that we've already proven that that's an illusion, right? So now that we're really transferring over to learning how to alchemize energy, the work that all earthlings must do is to reprogram themselves to go back to our true nature, which is to manifest through energy. And I love that you were really honing in on that, and I just want to drill that in with everybody. Your practice from now and this whole time is to recondition yourself to believe that effortless manifestation, using thought frequency, using energy. This is the way that I need to learn how to manifest, which means that I need to move away from paradigms of fear and move towards paradigms of trusting the unseen, walking down the unknown paths, and really developing new trust paths for ourselves. So I love that, it's like when the oracles talk, they all agree. So I love that, getting those same messages.
Oh, thank you, Dea. Thank you for clarifying. Absolutely. And that is what we're doing. We're we're making our magic real. And we're using our magic to protect ourselves. And honest to God, it works, y'all. It works. We can create shields that block the non-essential from our field, and we won't even encounter it. And you just got to practice. And like I said, track the times you're right. You can track the times you're wrong, and you can kind of look around and see what you were focused on that wasn't quite on point. But it's more important to track the times you're right. Every time I have a psychic happening with my son or my husband, I make sure they know. I don't need Sprint to contact them. I do not need I don't need that. And we don't need it for each other. So telepathy is another thing we're going to practice that's going to become very real. It is going to be where we're looking for those creative solutions, that critical creative thinker. We're going to be using creativity to win. We're not going to be using force or drama or chaos and things like that. And to stay out of that fear, keep really good boundaries and convert, like we say with imagination, to worry and stress and project negative outcomes is a poor use of our imagination. If we're going to use our imagination for anything, let's use it to envision the highest good and the highest possible outcome. And like I said, try to walk your body through it as if it were a memory, as if it's already happened, as if you've already made it to where you want to go and you're with the people you want to be with, doing the things you want to do. Imagine that feeling. When you get that feeling in your body, it draws it right to you to have that experience. So we're going to be practicing our magic over the next 2.5 years in very conscious ways, and practicing our invisible boundaries so we can see when they actually work. But when you work it, it gets stronger like a muscle. That's the other thing. Your intuition and your practical magic, it gets stronger the more you practice with it and the more you develop your own symbol keys, the signs that matter to you, that show up for you, the language that you hear. When we use tarot cards, we're only using them as a channel for spirit to talk to us in a language we understand. That's all we're doing. The cards have no power. The spirit is working through them to communicate with us in a language we know. That's all it is. But wait till you see the pictures and wait till you start getting into the reminders, because what I thought about with y'all was that everybody's going to need a little something different. Some people are completing, some are initiating. Some are working on their emotional processes, some are working on their boundaries. Some are working on their roles, their responsibilities. So go to the divinations that apply to each one and use them for whatever you need, and circle back maybe quarterly or annually and see how it feels or how far you've come or what you've managed to experience after being made aware that these energies are out there and swirling about and available for you to co-create with. So dream big, y'all. Dream big. I love you all, and thank you for hanging late. Peace and blessings.